Alright everyone, now we are on example 2. So what is example 2 telling us? It's saying that Isaac wants to earn at least $155. So what I'm going to do is actually do some annotation as we're looking at this. Okay, so Isaac wants to earn at least $155. If he wants to earn at least $155, what does that mean? So let's annotate right here. If he wants to earn at least 155, that means he wants to earn, oh, let me make this a little bit thinner actually. And go back. Okay. This will be right. All right, so what this means is he wants to earn either something that's greater than 155 or equal to 155. So however much he earns, I'm just going to write earns here. What he wants is that if we say at least, that means 155 is the minimum, right? So I put ears, didn't I? Ugh, guys. Oh man. Okay. Earns. So he earns more than or equal to 155 because it's at least. That's the smallest amount that he wants to earn. Okay, now because he wants to afford some new pairs of shoes. So here's the deal. If he earns $15 per hour, it's important, plus an additional $50 in tips, what is the minimum number of hours that Isaac will have to work on Saturday? So we're trying to figure out like how much hours does he need to work in order to make at least $155. So if we go back to the Google form right over here. Okay. First thing is we already know this is saying minimum amount. We have at least 155, so this is an equality for sure. That's number one. Number two, this time it's just saying what's the minimum number of hours he worked. So let's figure this out. Okay, so first thing is let's figure out this variable here. And what I'm going to choose is the letter H because what word are we trying to find here? It's the minimum number of hours. So for my variable, I'm going to put H equals the minimum number of hours Isaac works. So this is what we're trying to find. H is representing what I have to find, what I don't have yet. So we already talked about how this is an inequality because it's using words like minimum and maximum, and anytime it uses words like this, well, you'll know that that's an inequality already. Okay. So how do we do this? Like, where do I start? The easiest thing is always to start at the total. And the total is saying that he wants to earn at least 155. So I know that however much he makes has to be greater than or equal to 155. That's the first thing that we start off with is like the total, right? That's the easiest. So what do we know? We know that in order, however much he makes, it has to be $15 per hour. So I'm going to put 15H because it's $15 per hour. Plus, he earns $50 in tips. So what we need to figure out is, okay, well, how many hours does he have to work in order to make this amount right here? So let's figure it out. First thing we do is we subtract by 50 because we want to figure out how much he makes, right? How many hours does he have to make in order to get at least, $155? This is called budgeting, people. Or, like you're gonna have to do this at work too, like figuring out how much you need, how many hours you have to work in order to make a certain amount of money. Okay, I'm gonna just zoom in a little bit. Now, 50 minus 50 is 0, so again, we get 15H has to be greater than or equal to, don't forget this sign, this is going to be 105. So I have to figure out what times 15 gives me 105, so we divide that. And I get 1 hour worked, or $1. This is $1 per hour. What is this? $15 an hour. Okay, so this is $15 an hour. Okay, so it's greater than or equal to 155 is 7. Okay, so what this is saying is, H is 7 hours. If he wants to end up making at least $155, that means that he has to work 7 hours because H represents the number of hours he works. So here he has to work at least 7 hours. So, on the side here, we could go ahead and write Isaac has to work at least 7 hours. So H has to be 7. And the thing is, he has to work at least 7 hours, which means he could work 8 hours, he could work 9 hours. But if he works less than 7 hours, that means he's not going to make $155. So he has to work, based on these circumstances, 7 hours. So we're going to move back to complete the Nearpod. So what is the minimum number of hours? All you have to do is put 7. If you put like 7 hours, it's gonna tell you just put the exact number. So 7. So you just press 7, and then we go ahead to example 3. And make sure you have this down.